All right, guys, we are live. We're doing this. You guys know how it is. Every single Saturday at 10:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're doing VFX live streams. The whole point of this is to get a community together and to get excited about VFX and to get excited about 3D and to get excited about working together and learning and growing together. That's the whole point of this right now. Is exactly that. If you guys can hear me, if you can see me, just give me a little thumbs up so I know we're good. This is going to be exciting. This is very exciting. I've been live streaming over the last year, and this is the first time I actually got stream upgrades now. So that means I got a bunch of different scenes and, a bunch of, announcements and whatnot, and alerts and crap. It's going to be cool. Hopefully it's a nice little touch. I'm still working on it. But guys, if you're joining me live or if you're watching this after the fact, what are we doing? We're recreating a photo today, and actually I should have that photo queued up. I don't. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let's pull up this photo. So it is a night city scene. Let's see here. Let's pull up these references. Boom. So. Oh, also, yeah, I gotta switch. Bam, here we go. Okay, so for this, basically, we went up, myself, Ren, Nico, and a bunch of other guys, one-wheeled up to this mountain, and we're overlooking, I think this is Burbank. And I thought this was such a cool shot that Ren took, and this is me standing here looking down at Burbank, and I'm like, I would love to recreate this in 3D, so that's exactly what we're doing here today. The point is, we're not trying to go in and create every building because that's going to take forever. And it's also going to tax our system like crazy. So we got to be real smart about how we make this. And that's exactly what this is about today. So let's hop in and do this. I'm very excited. All right. So first we're starting off in After Effects, actually. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a displacement map that we can use in Octane as a texture displacement. So black values go down, white values get pushed up. And we're going to kind of mimic this look of, of city buildings here. Now, that is what's called a greeble effect. You can Google greeble, but basically it's just like a blocky, cubey texture across a large area. That's called greeble. If you guys are familiar with any of the Star Wars spaceships, especially in the original trilogy, you'll know that like the Death Star, it's greebled out. It's got a bunch of cubey, blocky texture all across the whole thing. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to create that in After Effects, and it's very, very simple. So anyway, hey guys, shout outs to everyone joining me live here. This is awesome. Fruit Juice, I see you, man. Thanks for coming to these live streams and competing in the weekly challenge. I really think that's cool. Your renders have been awesome. Tinham, what's going on? Good to see you again. Got a lot of familiar faces, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Geppy, I'm glad that you liked my render. It was cool. I had a good time making it. For any of you guys who are new to my channel, welcome. Welcome. Let's have some fun. Let's create some stuff. All right. So first thing, learn your shortcuts. Control Y will get you a solid. All right. So we want to make a solid. It doesn't matter what color it is. And on that solid, we want to throw on an effect called fractal noise. It's under noise and grain. You can use the little search bar here. And if you have your layer selected, you can double click and the effect will be pasted right on top of your solid there. So from here, what we want to do is we want to make a bunch of blocky black and white cubes. So the easiest way that I can think to do that is actually with mosaic. So I'm going to make a new layer, an adjustment layer. The hotkey is Control Alt Y? Yeah, Control Alt Y. And we'll look for mosaic. Double click to throw it on there. Bam. You see how that like blocks it out, But let's make it a little larger. Let's go like 30 by 30. And heck, let's go 40. Let's go 40 by 40. to give us a bit more resolution. And by the way, if you hit Control K in your composition settings, you'll see that I'm at a 4096 by 4096, and that is 4K resolution. So this is like a seamless 4K texture, if you will, right? The frame rate doesn't matter because we're just looking for an image. It's just a picture. So let's go ahead and cancel that. Now we want to control the amount of contrast. So the darker these blacks are and the whiter these whites are, the further our displacement map will be pushed in Octane, or you know, if you guys are using Blender, Cycles, whatever. Like, it really doesn't matter what program you're using. You can do this in any program you guys want. So that's no problem at all. All right. So from here, what we can do is we can add like a levels to this, and we can also add like a gradient in Octane. So you don't have to go too insane with this, but we just kind of want to bring these levels up just so it's a little bit more contrasty, a bit more punchy. And let's just try saving this out as a JPEG. So I'm going to make sure that the duration here is just 1 frame. That way when I hit Control Shift Backspace, it goes to the render queue. You can go composition, add to render queue if you want. And let's just save this out as a JPEG sequence. Since it's 1 frame, it's just gonna be 1 frame. Boom. Boom. All right, so now if we're in Cinema, let's see what we can do. Let me switch over to my stream setup for y'all so you can see what's going on. Awesome, awesome. All right, so how do we use that image that we just created? Let's make a plane. Whether you're in Blender or C4D or 3ds Max or Maya, you can make a plane. And let's go ahead and render our view here. We got a plane, and let's go ahead and save what the heck we're doing, okay? Because you do not want to lose your crap, all right? It happens and it sucks. So make sure your stuff is organized and named properly. So let's just call this Night City and 1A. I learned this 1A business from Chris Schmidt over at Rocket Lasso. Basically saving iterations. So I can always come back to a previous state. I'm never overriding the same file. So I'll do a 1B, a 1C, etc. Bam. All right, so from here, let's go ahead. Let's just load an HDRI for fun because it looks nice. So I'm just going to make an Octane sky, which you can do by going to, let's see, Objects, HDRI Environment. You can also do this in Blender. I forget exactly how, but I've been following some Blender tutorials. I've been doing some Blender Guru, some Peter France. It's really fun. It's really fun. Kids is asking, why don't you use the built-in cell noise of C4D? Probably a better way to do it. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Anyway, let's move on. I'll mess with that in a second. We'll see about that. Let's go ahead and load this in. I'm gonna click this image and let's load up an HDRI. I got some good HDRI Haven HDRIs, which, I mean, dude, they're the best. There's no getting around it, guys. They're the best. Let's get an outdoor one just to spice things up a little bit. Bam, cloudy. Load that in. We looking nice. Okay, so if you notice, this comes in blown out. I'm gonna fix it in a second, and I'll show you what I mean, because we got to get some detail in here first. Here, what if I just, make a cube? You see how blown out it is? It looks nasty. That's because our HDR environment, if you click it, you need to set the color profile to linear, and then it'll even itself out there. But let's go ahead and apply this mosaic effect and drop it on our plane here. So I'm gonna make a glossy material. Why not? Let's make a glossy material. We'll drop it on, and these materials are being spawned right over my head, just down here, and you get into some materials down the line here, which you can see if I pop this out. There it is. So I'm gonna double click it. I always work in node view because it's just way faster. You're actually able to see like what the heck's going on. So we'll go to node editor, and usually I like to dock this. For some reason, this docking mess kind of gets, there's like a glitch with Octane or something. It does this. Whatever. Displacement. That's what we want. Displacement. So let's make a displacement node. And let's drag that texture and look for an image texture. And the image texture is going to be the thing that we exported from After Effects. Where are you? Did I even name it? What? Where the heck did I save it? This is why y'all gotta be organized. Duplicate the thing, go in. It's on my desktop. But it says it's not on my desktop. Oh, because it's in a folder called comp1. Confusing. All right, anyway. We'll load that in and boom, automatically, look. You can see it's doing something. All right, let's make some adjustments. Okay, first I'm gonna go and if you're in Octane or if you're in Blender, whatever, you got a camera and hopefully you got some camera options. This is my camera tag. You can right click it and go to C4D tags, add a camera tag. And basically from here, camera imager, if you check that box, let's just pull up like Portra 400, go down to 1. So we'll crank the highlight compression too. That way we can see what's going on a little bit more. And if you look closely, you can see this weird stepping going on, and we don't want that. So that's just because our resolution is low. So with the displacement node selected, you can set the level of detail to 4K because that's what we made the image in. And you can see automatically it's looking nicer. It still has some weird stepping stuff. That's not an issue for us right now. You can definitely try and blur it a little bit, and that will help it. Do a little filter type Gaussian, filter radius 1, and that actually clean things up a little bit. So I'm happy with that. Mid-level, always 0.5. That'll even things out. Basically, instead of your black values not moving, your black values will actually go down. Your gray values will stay level, and your white values will go up. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. Yes, Skuka, Mirror's Edge vibes. Yeah, for sure. That game was amazing. I freaking loved it so much. All right. So, from here, what are we doing? What are we doing from here? Guys, we're going to push our values. Height, 10? Nah, 30, son. Let's go. Whoa. Okay, not 3,000. Not 3,000. That is a different day, different tutorial, but that looks freaking cool, doesn't it? Doesn't that look sick? You get some fog going in here. Like, that's some freaking ice caves. Get a nice little, like, specular thing going there. Little Big Planet vibes. All right, but that's not, like I said, that's not today. Let's adjust that displacement map. 30, son. Boom. All right, so now it's a little bit more pronounced. Let's take the value, the diffuse value, to just a gray. That way we're actually able to see something. And I'm actually going to change my HDRI again to an indoor one. I lied. Old Hall. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, I think that's just a little bit nicer, you know? Like, we're actually able to see what's going on. We can adjust just because this has nothing to do with the tutorial. Roughness, let's go 0.2. And you just kind of even out those specular highlights a little bit. That looks pretty sweet. So this is going to be the basis of our city that we're viewing from this mountain, right? Martial arts. Yeah, dude, almost 400, son. What up, everybody? Yeah, when I started this thing, it was around like 100, 150. So it's been cool. It's been cool, and it's been very satisfying doing this every single week. And speaking of satisfying, Oscar C, I see you. I'm glad you guys liked my satisfying Instagram post. The render that we did for Corridor, it was a blast. I can't wait to do it again. We got a special guest coming in next week. I can't say anything yet, but boy, it's gonna be fun. Boy, it will be fun. All right, let's keep moving. So let's go ahead and clone this thing, right? So let's take the plane, hold Alt and pop it in a cloner. And I'm always going to set the instance to multi-instance. That way you can clone a lot more things without taxing your system. Let's open this up. Something like that is totally fine. And you can't even tell that it's looping. Let's try and take it, I don't know, 10 by 10. And we got this giant city mass. Now, it'd be nice to have some larger detail going on here. Like this is kind of like a base layer of detail. If I go in, like let's say we want to have some buildings popping off at like 100 centimeters, you know, versus just the 30. So here's what you can do. You can do this a lot of different ways, but let's give this a shot. I'm going to hold Control and make a new material, and let's take that new material and let's take the gamma of this noise, this little noise map we made. If I solo it, okay, you can't see it, but let's take the gamma to like 5, so it really makes it contrasty. You see that? You can even go to 6, you know, whatever, and it's just gonna make it nice and contrasty. And we'll just duplicate the plane in our cloner, and we'll drag the new material on there. And you should see it update here. Oh, maybe it's really subtle. So here's what I'll do. I'll go into the displacement and let's set the height to like 120. There you go. So now you can see it's displacing these 2 different materials across these planes here, which by the way, you can set the width and height segments to frickin' just 1, and you're still going to get the same amount of detail because it's a texture displacement, not a vertex displacement. A vertex displacement requires like mesh data in order to make things look high res. So if I were to hit N and then B, you can clearly see that there aren't, you know, this is just one plane with no subdivisions. That's the beauty of this. I think Octane does this really well. You can set this to 20 by 20, but you're not going to get any difference in this. The only difference is your PC is going to chug a little bit harder. All right. So the point of this video is how to do it without blowing up your computer, and that's one of the ways we're doing this. Take down those polygons. Keep the detail. All right. Caleb's like, what the heck? So you can get some really cool vibes like this, you know, like let's make a third one. Let's duplicate it. Let's do, let's go in here and let's go to our node view. Let's take this. Let's go transform. Can we transform this? Let's make a new plane, control drag, keeping it in the cloner, drag your new material on there, which it can get confusing. Just know the third one is the third one, right? We got 3 materials, 3 different planes. I think it makes sense to y'all. Let's take the gamma up to like 8. Freaking 8, son. And then let's see if we can do this. Can we do a color correction node on here and crank the contrast? Is that going to work? And let's do a texture displacement. Let's go 500 and see what happens. All right. Yo. Y'all with the super chats. Heck yeah. One Dead Duck, thank you, sir. Mark Henry, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Heck yeah. Very, very cool. So I'm trying to get the alerts going here, so when you guys do the super chat, it comes up on the stream as, you know, like a sweet little like alert thing. Might have to, I don't know, maybe it's working, maybe it's not. But we'll see. I'm gonna keep working on it. But thank y'all, regardless, for those super chats. That's awesome. Keep up the good work. Thanks for coming back. Y'all are awesome. Okay. Nile. Hello, my friend. William! Heck yeah. All right, let's do it. Yo, it's Ren! It's freaking Ren, y'all! Richie, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Ren, what's good, son? What's up? What up, son? Yo, we're doing it, man. We're freaking doing it, all right? We're deep in it right now. Look at this. Ren was the one who told me about Octane. The man, the myth, the legend. And if it wasn't for Ren, I wouldn't be popping off some sweet renders right now. So definitely give him a shout out. So we have this one plane and it's displaying nothing because our contrast is too high. So we need to bring our contrast back down in order for it to read. Let's set the contrast back to 0 and figure out why this isn't working. I think it's because I have a color correction node in between. Yeah, that's not working. So maybe the power comes down or something? I just want to get some variation in here. Let me save an iteration. And I don't know why you can't why you can't add color correction nodes to this stuff. It's kind of annoying. What if I invert it? I'm gonna set the power to 1. What happens in that case? Let me refresh my render. Mr. Samu Gendert, thank you, sir, for the very generous super chat. He says, hey, what do you think about C4D versus 3ds Max? Is it just a personal preference, or do you think C4D is superior? Great question. Fantastic question. I don't think one program is better than another. I think it's all about what you create in that program. So don't get hung up on specific program stuff. I know a lot of you guys... Ren's like, ooh, 3ds Max. We used 3ds Max for like 6 years straight, so no worries. It really just depends on what you can create in the program. There's no superiority with anything. Blender versus C4D or versus 3ds Max versus Maya. Just, it's what you can create. So don't get hung up on the programs, y'all. Don't worry about that stuff. Just have a good time with what you're creating. That's it. That's the whole point. Okay. So it looks like we have a couple different levels of city in our scene here. And I'm wondering if we can get like a nice like step system. So like the big one goes to the medium one, which goes to the small one. I think we need one more, which is a small one in between the medium and the small one. And we'll hold control to duplicate. And we'll give it just one last one at maybe like 30 or 50, because I think the original one, Tiberian. My goodness, thank you, sir. Thank you. That is very generous. Wow, yeah, thanks for what you said a few streams back. It's resulted in me applying to VFX University course, so thank you to you, and also to Ren too. Dude, shout outs, man. That is awesome. That is freaking sweet, man. I'm glad that these help you out, and good luck to you at your application for VFX University. Have fun with it, man. Learn as much as you can. Have a good time. Make those connections. It's going to be a good one. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are sick. Thank you so much. All right, so here we go. Let's keep going, all right? Now, you can see that all of this stuff is kind of rendered uniformly. It's placed uniformly. And we don't want that. We want it to be random. So all you have to do is go to your cloner and... where would it be? Clones? Random. So now it's randomly distributed. And if you come at it from a low angle, you can kind of get rid of any tiling or anything like that. And it's also going to be better because we're going to turn the lights off on this thing. It's going to be sick. All right, so let's try and make some roads or something. Or should we save that for once we get the lights? Let's get the lights popping off, yo. Like, let's get some lights going. We want to get this look, right? We want to get the lights. That's the biggest thing, is the lights, okay? So how are we going to do that? How the heck are we going to do that? Well, first we save a new iteration. And let's see what we can do, all right? Let's turn off, actually, all these guys. or we can pull these 3 planes out. So we're just getting the one. We'll push these guys off to the side. And we want to distribute lights randomly across this cityscape. So you can do this a bunch of different ways, but mainly the idea is we're going to mess with the emission tab. All right, the emission tab is going to give us what we want. Now with specular, you do not have the emission tab. All right, so what you need to do is one of two things. If you're an Octane, we will go, instead of glossy, you can change it to a diffuse, which is totally fine. You still get your displacement, you just don't get any, reflection, which I think is fine in this case. Or if you still want the reflection, you can change it to a universal material and just take down the metallic level. That way you keep the specular, and you get this emission box. So let's mess with that. Let's pull this emission box out. Let's set it to a texture emission, which is going to emit something like, if I were to pull an image from Google, it's going to use that image to light the scene or to light the material or the shader, like a projector would light up a wall or something like that, right? All right, so we want to take the texture node and give it an image texture. But what image are we going to use to light this? You can do it with a bunch of different ones. You can do it with anything you want, but we want to get that look of city lights. So you got to be a little specific about what you use here. I'm going to try something I've never tried before, and we're going to see if this works. So I have a surface imperfection pack that I created. There's also a video if you guys want to learn how to make your own. It's on my channel, but let's see if I can find these textures, surface imperfections. Cool. I think we're good with a 2K version. And I have these ones dust. I have these dust ones. You can see here that it kind of looks like stars. Maybe it'll look like city lights. I'm just going to give it a shot and see what happens. And it looks like it needs to be scaled up or something. So let's take the transform value and let's actually give it a projection. We'll set the projection to box. And we'll set the transform to like 2. What if we set it to 10? So we're kind of getting like a city grid look going on here. Maybe we set it to 20. And then you can really see it tiling and repeating, which is no good. Let's go back to 10. You still see the tiling and repeating, but we can get rid of that in a second here. Now what we'll do is it's time to take away the HDRI environment, because technically it'd be at nighttime, which, technically it's not black. But let's just set it to black. So I'm going to hit this little gray button that lets us choose a color, and we'll just turn it to black. Now I also want to take these materials here. I want to set the diffuse value to black as well. I don't want it coloring. I don't want these buildings to be any other color than black. We'll do the same for these. You can select all of them and do batch adjustments. You should be able to. Where were you at? Why is that not working? Oh, it's because they're not universal materials, probably. I don't know. It's weird. I'll set it to universal. Bring this down. We'll do this to these 3 here. Aaron, yo, dude, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated, brother. I'm glad you joined me live. I'm very glad you joined me live. These are fun. He says, thanks for the inspiration and the constant enthusiasm all the time. Keep it up. CC for life. CC? Cinema 4D? That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much. That's very, very generous of you. I'm glad you're learning, and I'm glad you're having a good time. Dean, will you be able to get the project file? Not now, but maybe soon. Maybe soon. It's a little foreshadowing for y'all. Good times. Good times. Okay, last one. Let's change it to universal, and we'll take the metallic down. Okay. Now maybe we can change. Yeah, so now they're all the same, we can change these all to black. Cool. We don't want any specular either. Just darkness, dude. Like my soul. Just dark. Perfect. Okay, so it's lit. It's lit in a way that makes it seem. Whoa. What's going on? All right, here we go. We'll save out. We'll zoom in. All right, so it's peppered so intensely, it looks like it's gray. So what we need to do is go to this image texture here and set the gamma to like 5. And then you start to see a little city grid coming to life here. It's starting to make sense. It's all starting to make sense. Okay. So you can see the tiling. Most definitely, you can see the tiling, okay? So, okay, Sadon, what the heck is gamma? Good question. So gamma, if I'm in After Effects, gamma is basically this middle slider. And it allows you to kind of crank it up or down. And when you lower your gamma, it makes it a bit more washed out and brighter. When you raise your gamma, it crunches it down and makes it darker and more contrasty. So that's basically all you need to know when it comes to this. So when I raised my gamma to, say, 5, it made it a bit more contrasty. If I set it to 1, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. It's too washed out. It's using too much of the image to light our city. You can set it to 6 and have a good time with that. That's awesome. You can also take your texture emission and check surface brightness, which will, I don't technically know what that does, but it makes it brighter. It's like more accurate or something. And you can also take the power up to like 200 to get more of a look. We're going to take care of this tiling here in a second. But another thing I want to do is actually color this light. And the best way to do that would be throw an octane gradient in between the image texture and the emission node. And instead of white, our image is a black and white image. Black and white. Instead of white, maybe it's more of like a tungsten. Ooh, then we get that city. We get that nice city. Awesome, awesome. Now you can also, Butter Chuckles, I love you too. Thank you. Thank you very much. You can also take that gradient and throw another color in here. Maybe it's a, oh, whoa, where am I? What is this? Who? Let me close that, okay? Let's try it again. There we go, all right. Too many options, y'all. There's a lot of options here. Those yellow lights look like Moscow. Let's reference our image. What does our image look like? So we have a mixture of white lights, tungsten lights, some blue lights. Let's get that out of here. Get. I hate this thing, dude. I hate these freaking notifications. So we have a mixture of lights, and actually the fog value, like the smog value, colors it orange, like you're talking that Moscow look into the back here. Right? So maybe we mess with some fog in a second, you know? Maybe we do that. Okay, but I agree. It's a little too intense right now. So let's go for a white light. And then we also have a tungsten light in here, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And we can actually set this to stepping. So the size, or no, the interpolation, you set to step. Oop, but we need, there we go. You can have more of the image be like the tungsten. How does this work? Yeah, so you're kind of crunching. Let's see, maybe we flip these. So the brightest lights are like white. And then it kind of comes down to, maybe we don't step this one. Maybe this one's smooth. Or they all kind of have to be smooth. Okay. The step worked. I liked it. Or maybe blend? What's blend? Let's go for step. Cool. All right, so you kind of get a mix here. You should be, at least. Maybe we can solo this. See what it looks like. That doesn't help too much. But anyway, you can mess with your colors here to get different values. It's like we have to tweak this and mess with it. We can come back here. But the way I like working is basically working from as general as possible down to specifics. So you don't want to waste your time working on tiny little specific details right out the gates. You want to work it in generally. So you get the general vibe of your scene. You lay your giant brush strokes, you do your sketch, and then you go in for detail. So that's the way, that's the way I work. With anything. If I'm modeling, texturing, writing even, you start with an outline, it all works. So yeah, let's hop back in here. All right. So let's keep moving. Let's keep doing this thing. All right. It's seamless. We want to make it seamless. So what I'm going to do is we can do a number of things, actually. We can mix these two together and rotate it randomly and let's see what happens. I could also use a different image. I can also use a noise map to do it. So maybe, how about this? We'll do both. We'll do all three. We have this image texture, okay? Let's copy it, control drag. And let's change it out for a new one. Maybe it's gonna be this fiber one. Yeah, why not? Let's try this fiber one. So this is like little speckles of dust and stuff. Let's drag this into, and see what that looks like. So it's crunched a little too much. Let's just try setting it to like 4 or even 2.2, what it comes in by default. And let's take the transform down to 2. And then we'll crank the gamma back up so that you're only getting a little bit of those lights. And there's still too many of them. So we can, this is basically our color gradient. Let's make a new gradient, an octane gradient, and let's just bring the black value up. That way we're only getting a little bit of these lights. We're trying to crunch it down. We can take the transform and go back to like 4, so we get a bit more of that detail there. Maybe we don't crunch it down as much. Maybe these lights are a little dimmer, so we can take this white value down to like a gray, and it dims them up a little bit. And what we can do from here, we can actually rotate this. I don't know if this will do much for us, but we can rotate it to give us a different look. And then we'll mix these together, okay? So we want to mix this guy and this guy, okay, with a mix node. We'll plug texture 1 in there, texture 2. So we're mixing these together, and let's put that into gradient. Now, right now, it's doing a perfect 50-50 blend by default. The amount is set to a perfect 50-50. If I go to one side, it gets us one image. If I go to the other side, it gets us the other image. But we don't want to do that. We actually, like I said, we're going to do all 3 methods, meaning it's time to use a noise node in Octane. So for the amount, we're going to plug in a noise node, Octane noise. And the projection I always set to XYZ to UVW, which gets you a seamless, integration of the noise map there. And then for transform, let's pop one out. I'm sure we'll need it. So right click and solo it to see what's going on, right? So it's very small and very washed out. So the first thing I do when messing with noise, regardless of whether it's going to be this contrasty, is set it to 100. That way you can see what's going on. From here, we want to scale it up. Let's just scale it up to 15. Okay. So it's getting us this this pattern here, because technically, what's the best? Okay, because we're going to come in and we're going to duplicate this material across a bunch of different planes, all right? So I wouldn't worry about this tiling quite yet, because we can scale up different city pieces with a random modifier, but we'll get there, okay? So from here, we're going to use this noise map to break up the random look of all this stuff. Mobius Studios, I see you. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, my friend. So yeah, we're gonna use this to break up all of these lights in 2 seconds. Time for a little drink break. All right. So, all right, here we go. So basically, we're gonna use this to break up those lights. All right. Let's go ahead and set the octaves to 8 and the omega to 0.8. And you can see it makes it a little bit rockier, gives a bit more detail in there. Let's disable that. And you can see it's kind of breaking it up in that way. Without it, if I didn't have it, it'd be this. We'll compare, we'll store the render buffer, we'll plug this in, and we'll reveal. You can see it's kind of doing something, but I don't like how it still feels uniform. And I'm trying to figure out a way. I wonder if let me just try this. Let me delete these other materials. Let me plug these planes back into the cloner. I'll make 4 duplicates. I'll plug each one of these in. Right now it's going to look the same. And then I'll start changing things with each one of these. So with this material, let's go ahead and go to the displacement. And let's set that to 120. So you can see that's breaking up the pattern there, because it raised those guys in the back. If I set it to 150 or even just 2000, you can see that it's doing something to a number of these. All right, so let's take that back down. Let's just go to like 150. I think is fine for what we're doing. And we can take that guy and we can leave it bright, because those buildings are going to be shining bright. Next, let's see. Okay, so that's our normal one. The second one here is our big buildings. The third one, let's go ahead and apply the third one. And let's see, the displacement, we'll set it to 80. So we'll kind of raise some other guys off the ground just a little bit. And then we'll do the last one, we'll set it to like 20 or something. Let's see. The last one we'll just set to 15 maybe. So those kind of get leveled out a little bit. Now you can change the brightness of all this, because it looks like just a generic wash. This has shape to it. You know, you can see the roads. You can see how the lights are broken up by the mountains. There's not many lights up in the mountains here. So we want to do that as well. And we want to get these roads going. So let's work on that. All right, let's see if we can't get that. First thing I'm going to try is actually taking, well, let's give this a shot. Let's take this. Let's open it up into like a grid system here. So there's a little bit of road shining through, right? You can see like the underside, this dark area. And let's take let's take a plane. We'll scale it up. We will lower it. We can set the width and height segments to 1. We can lower it like -2 centimeters, so it's underneath all this. Let's make a new material, apply that to that plane, and let's go into that material. Let's go ahead and hide our cloner for a second. We should, if we refresh our Octane view, yeah, there we go. That is actually pretty sweet. That's cool. Let's save another iteration. And if you guys are just joining, I'm using an image texture from one of my surface displacement hacks to light a plane here and give it some shape using a displacement map we created in After Effects right here. So it's pushing these white pixels up and pushing these black pixels down to give us this kind of city look here, which is sick. I love it. But let's make it brighter. So let's go ahead and bring our cloner back in. And it doesn't look like anything right now because it's all the same value. But if we maybe, let's see, let's take the texture emission. Let's set it to like 500. Okay, why is that not working? Maybe we set it to 1,000. Turn off our cloner. And maybe we... instead of black, maybe it's just a light gray. That way it actually has a little bit of room to be illuminated with. And then we can take these image textures that are lighting our scene, and we can bring down the amount that it's being crunched by. Okay, so that's way too much. Let's take the noise and set this to like 50. The contrast, maybe it's 20. And the gamma goes down. Maybe we mess with the transform of this thing, so it's a smaller size. We bring our cloners back in, and that's definitely brighter. So now, boom, there you go. Now you have some freaking cars going down here. Like, this gives the feeling of a city. If you look closely, obviously it's not, but it gives the feeling of a city. This is so sick. I love this. Now, let's take it to the next level. So the city lights, if we go in here, let's go to, maybe we adjust some of the colors here. So we can do, let's hop into any one of our original city materials, and let's go to the gradient. Let's switch these around. So we have some white lights popping off. You can see that. Maybe we go to another one and we do the same. We hit it with some white lights. But maybe we want to just, maybe it's green. Maybe it's like a tungsten kind of a feel. Like that's pretty sweet. And then the cars down here can be a mix of tungsten and red because the brake lights, right? But it also has white lights too. So maybe, how are we gonna do this? So let's go to our gradient. Let's set a couple colors here. So we have white lights and we have red brake lights. You can kind of see those popping off throughout the city down there. It's pretty sweet. Whoa. That's cool. So you have a mix of these three colors. So the red, I'm trying to get the red like to be just a small part of it, but it's such a large part. Maybe it's maybe my knots need to be smooth again. Yeah, I'm glad y'all are enjoying those satisfying renders. It's a good time. It's a very good time. And then let's try. That's feeling pretty cool to me. That's feeling pretty nice, actually. So if we're matching our picture here, our reference image that Ren took, we're not doing too bad, actually. We're not doing too bad at all. I think it looks pretty nice. It looks pretty nice. So one thing I need to work on is the horizon, which we'll get to, as well as our camera angle. Let's start to set up our camera angle, all right? So I like the idea of the person center frame, kind of framed by the roads here. I like that a lot. So maybe we can try that. Maybe we can try and get that look going. I can see some main roads coming down here. It's a bit too uniform, but actually, nah, maybe not. Maybe not. This is a cool look. Just because I'm amped about it, let's throw in some fog real quick. I'm gonna hop out of the camera. Oh, this is gonna be sick. This is gonna be sick. All right, let's go to the volume, generate, set the voxel size to 100. If you set that any lower, guys, y'all, if you set that any lower than 5, your system will crash. Okay, you do not want to do it because it's only for the viewport. This voxel size editor, it's only for the viewport. All right. So when we move this, you're gonna see some like cards, some planes here, okay? And if you set that any lower, you can see how if I go 50, okay, it's getting somewhere. If I go 20, and the viewport is starting to chug. But if I go, I don't even want to do it. I'm not even gonna do it. So I set that to 100. You'd think if the number's higher, it's gonna be crazier, but nah, not in this case. So we're gonna cover our city with our fog, or our smog, I guess. Let's raise it off the ground. Pull it up. Let's get to a nice view. Let's turn it off, find our good view. We can set our camera angle to like an 85. We'll hop in. And maybe the 85 is like, maybe we needed that 35. Because I like the idea of just seeing like 2 main roads, and we can always add detail into the roads and like make it a bit windier or something, or not as uniform, but we'll get there. Also, aspect ratio, what do we want? I like the tall view. I think tall view is cool, but wide view is also cool too, because I'm gonna have to make a new thumbnail for this once we make the image. So for this though, I think I'm gonna go tall view. I'm gonna do 3x4. So that would be, I want to go 1500 as my base. So 1500 times 3. Or is it 2x3 or 4x? Oh boy. All right. Let's get some water. Water. Oh man. Good times. Good times indeed. All right, shall we continue? Shall we continue? No, I don't have the Rona. All right. Just talk for hours on end. Let's go back in. Let's do it. Is that G Fuel? It's just water, son. What up, Isaac? Thanks for joining. All right, y'all. This is a good one. This is a good stream. Okay. Our fog. Yes, our fog. Let's bring it in. It's all nutty. Let's hide it in the viewport. All right, this is first little stop sign. So we get a green light, then you get a red light. So that you don't see it in viewport, but we keep it in the render view. Oh, I didn't do this. With 600 by 900. And we lock it, and that way you can actually get the whole deal. So let's go 0.5. We can just walk it up until you see the whole thing right there. Boom, sweet. All right, obviously way too foggy. All right, so we want to, let's bring this down a little bit. Let's go to the medium, click this little white box, and we'll set the density to 1. And that is a scary city. That is very scary. The absorption and scattering are going to be clutch here because it's an orange looking fog. All right. We want to crank the scattering phase so it kind of scatters the light a bit more, but not too much. Not too much. Dude, this reminds me of a picture though. Yo, I took this picture in Shanghai. Sorry, quick aside. I took this picture in Shanghai that this kind of reminds me of. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. So I have a print store called Noise, Grain, and Light. I love doing film photography. That's what this is here, a lot of film photography. So this is in Shanghai, this image here. Let me just go to the collections page and we'll go to Shanghai. And it's this one on the right. This one on the right. I tweaked the colors a little bit, but it reminds me of this right here. Like, this is such a cool feel. You can see the smog going off into the back. Same deal. This is all Shanghai. You can see the fog and the smog going off into the back on all of these. And that's what we're trying to get. So you always want to reference. Always a reference, right? So it's good to, pick your images here, get your reference, and, have a good time. But yeah, if you guys like photography and stuff, check it out. I also got a little store going. I'm selling this one. This is limited edition, only 50 prints of each size. And I got some other good ones in here. Anyway, but that's not the point of this video. I'm talking about the city. So you can see it's dark, right? If we're referencing that red light, it's too dark. So we can keep taking down the density, and maybe that will help us. And the scattering phase, yeah, we'll bring that up a little bit. But we also want to adjust, and I mix this up all the time. It's either the absorption or the scattering. So if we set one of these to like a brighter orange, it should get us, yeah, that kind of gives you a bright orange going off into the back there. But maybe it's this one. Maybe it's the scattering. Octane Jesus, David the man himself. He's the bomb when it comes to this stuff. He knows the difference. He's got a nice Octane course on Grayscale Gorilla. So that's not bad. They're kind of the same color. Let me just try changing one of those to like freaking purple. Okay, so it takes the opposite color and kind of tints these things that color. So this is where your orange comes in. Your Moscow orange. Let's take the saturation down. So you kind of have that orangish tint as it goes off into the background. And then what if we mess with this guy? if we just set this to white, okay, I think the fog is still just too thick. So I think you need to go like 0.1 on that. And I want it to kind of get brighter too. But that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I actually kind of like that. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll just add some more lights. We'll add some really bright city stuff off here into the background, and that'll combat that. That'll be nice. So I'm digging that a lot. Let's make sure we save. Now I think we're at the point now in our render where we can actually try and put a subject in the foreground. I like that look. And I want to maybe add like a power line or a flag waving in the wind or something. I want to mess with that. So I think we got a really nice look right now with this. So let's keep going in. And again, guys, remember, this is all just like, look at my frame rate. It's at 200. I'm flying through this thing. Granted, I do have a quadro popping off, but like, it's because we're using displacement maps and texture emission to get this. Even with the fog, it's moving so fast. We only have like, what is this? We only have 100 polygons in our scene. Let's double check just to be sure. I think it's Alt V will bring you to this little viewer here. You can go to HUD, and we can come down and we can do let's do total polygons. Total objects, selected polygons, and total polygons. Maybe it's not counting it because it's in our cloner or something, but we just have 9 objects in our scene. It's very small, y'all. It's very small, and that's the way we're not blowing up our computer. And we can mess with, I think, the color correction settings, which I'm gonna do right now. Let's set that to like 1.5. There you go. You start to brighten it up a little bit. It's going to take some time to render and get that noise out, but I think it's looking really sweet. Let's check our Octane settings. You want to make sure your GI clamp is at 1. It's usually set to like 1,000,000, like some dumb number. And you get these fireflies that suck. You set that to 1, it gets rid of all that stuff. So I've actually set a default scene by setting up my camera and everything and going to window customization, save as default scene. So every time I open it up, all my settings are already done and it's no problem. So one thing we could do, we could add a city back here. We can add some really big buildings in the back, which I might do. Why not? Because we're here and it's looking cool. All right, so let's get that foreground guy. How are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? So you could probably go, you could probably go to, I think there's a website. Let's see. I think it's like 3D People or something. 3D People. And it's photo scans of 3D. Renderpeople.com. Yep, this is the one. You've probably seen these around. I'm hesitant to grab some of that. I mean, maybe I should. I don't know. Let's try this one. Heck, why not? Cinema 4D. Let's do it. Let's save it in the right place. Save this. And we'll navigate and extract. And we will, boom, Octane. I already got it for Octane. Renderpeople.com. Sweet, that's awesome. All right, let's get out of here. Several polygons are missing. Okay. Let it load for a second. That's perfect. That's perfect. So we're looking for a silhouette. That's it. You know, like we can bring this woman in. Let's go ahead and copy her and bring her into our Night City scene. We'll go ahead and paste. Now my scale is way off, but that's okay. We're going to rotate her 90 degrees, bring her up and back. And it's obviously too intense. Now, let's hop out of the camera. And we're going to have to cheat it. Now, obviously, this shot here, it's on an iPhone and it's zoomed in. I'm standing on a mountain and Ren is looking down into the city. Okay. So if we want to go for that same look, this is technically looking down into the city. But I think the character itself needs to be control. This is the control, I guess. Cool. Kind of facing down there. And the pose isn't right. Definitely need to, you know, mess with the pose. Goulius Boozler. What a ridiculous name. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for always sharing your knowledge with the community. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you guys are learning something. The more you learn, the better. And we do this every single week, every Saturday at 10:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So keep hopping in. We're doing it all year. It's going to be a good one. We're going to learn a lot. All right, back to it. So let's see if we can't. What I like about this image is that like the darkness kind of creeps up to the bottom of the frame. I like that a lot. So maybe what we can do, I mean, like that's definitely a gradient. You can do that with a gradient in Photoshop. Certainly. So wonder how. Maybe we push our volume out in a way. Okay, that cleared it too far. No, I like it where it is. Sweet. Okay. Go ahead and save another iteration. Now, we're at the fun stuff now. Like, we've done most of the hard work. So let's see if we can't get her in a pose we like. And maybe this, you know, she's not the best person for this. We don't know yet. You know, we still have to mess with it. Once we get her in place, we can we scale her down, or does that mess with the, yeah, that messes with, maybe I can scale her down this way, 0.5. There we go. Now she's kind of smaller in frame, which I like. And we'll give it, let's make a new terrain, a new landscape in C4D. We'll bring this up. And again, my scene positioning is way off, but it's okay. You know, we're kind of just going for what looks good in camera. Technically, you'd want to do this to scale, but I'm not too worried. Let's make a new material. Drop it on the mountain. Turn it black. scale it up, maybe bring this down. So you got a nice like rocky kind of look here. We'll bring this down. Let's make sure she's actually on the mountain. Something like that. Maybe we can give some more detail. So like 300 by 300 in the mountain. Gives it a bit more detail. And this is where most of our polygons are coming from. It's crazy. But I'm not liking... I think it needs some bloom. So maybe let's go into the camera imager. And we'll go to post-processing. And we'll take down the glare amount. We'll set it to 1. Glare angle. Doesn't really matter because I think we're going to take the glare off. But you see how it's blooming into the foreground there. And it gets you a nice, kind of a nice look. Take the volume. Bring it back to center. Oop. I think 0.05 is a little much. We'll go 0.1 on it. The landscape and bring it down. And this is just all shaping your scene. We're just here to shape our scene. Yes, I know she's floating, but I'm not too concerned with that. We want to get an interesting silhouette here. I'm not too interested with the silhouette. I don't like it that much. So you could do any number of things to, you know, switch this out. You can use Mixamo, you know, and find any number of poses or animations that you like. The character silhouette matters, so you can choose characters on Mixamo as well. Let me just show you guys, because I'm probably gonna end up doing this. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on the stream, but let's go to mixamo.com and I'm gonna log in over here real quick so you guys can see what's going on. Mixamo's great. All right, I think we're in. All right, so you can go to characters and grab any character you want to be standing on top of this mountain in Mixamo. You guys recognize this one? Maybe, maybe not. You can get headphones, maybe some headphones going. I think that could be kind of cool, actually. I like that. And then we can do back to animations and just type in idle. And like, you know, just any one of these, standing. Looking down, you know, moving around. I mean, there might be one sitting that could be cool. Kicking back on the mountaintop, maybe. You know, you could go through and, you know, crisscross applesauce up on the mountain. You guys get the idea. But for now, I'm gonna work with this. Okay. So let's try adding a big city in the background, because that's gonna look pretty sweet, I think. Let's check. Yeah, that's such a cool, I like that pose a lot. It's a really cool pose. I dig it. All right, let's see if we can't get that city in the back. So what we can do is literally just make a new plane. It doesn't even have to be in the cloner. We can control drag it out of the cloner And let's hop back into our scene. Let's grab that plane, bring it to the center. And this one, we'll make a new material for it. Control drag. And let's set the texture emission. No, the displacement we'll set to like 300. And then we'll drop it on to that new plane there. And we get some bigger buildings. You can see here, you got some larger buildings doing a thing. And you can also take the emission. Let's see. So I'm taking the gamma down on these image textures. See? So it's more of a city kind of a look here. Maybe we set that to, we scale that down to 5 or something. And maybe we go 4 on the gamma. And that gets us more of a city kind of building look. 3, maybe, I don't know, 8 or something. Like that could look pretty sweet. That's not bad at all. And then we can also continue to take this displacement and crank it. So we can go 400. So they're taller. Or you can go 1,000. So they're really tall. But let's go back into camera and see what it looks like. Pretty sweet. Pretty freaking sweet. You can also take those guys and change the color just a little bit. Maybe make it more of a white light. I don't know, the orange is nice. Maybe we set it to more of a whiter orange or something. And we can take that plane and we can scale it up. Put it in the middle of our scene and we got a big old city. You can push it back. And you can take the brightness up like crazy on the emission. So like 200 to 400. Maybe it's 1,000. So it's really bright back there. You can also duplicate that. Control drag to duplicate. R to rotate. Scale it down. And you have like a little city structure that you're piecing together now. Whoa. To give it layers, right? So you have a city off in the background there. You can just push that down underground. And you can get a cool look like that. Like that's fun, dude. That's actually pretty sweet. I am digging that. You can take the other two guys and and have them lower down as well because you really want the main one to be the tallest. Right? Like that's pretty sweet. I don't think we need the fourth one. But yeah, if you guys ever seen Ian Hubert's lazy tutorials, this is kind of reminiscent of that, just a little bit. Same kind of idea. And yeah, I did make the displacement texture myself. I just did it in After Effects, mosaic with some fractal noise that I didn't even touch. I didn't even change this. You can make a bunch of different ones to give you like different looks in the city. So maybe we take this fractal noise element. We changed the evolution. Maybe we changed it to swirly instead. Any one of these subscale, small bumps, we could try this, and we can transform it up. So we can scale this up like this, and then throw the mosaic on, and you get a different mosaic look. Let's try it. Let's save this out. Control M will get you to the render queue. We'll do a JPEG sequence, and we'll just call this, I don't know, comp 2, because we already have comp 1. Bam, saved out. And then you can, you know, grab any one of these materials that are on your planes here in your cloner that's making up your city. You can grab any one of those, hop in, and replace this texture here, comp 2. Boom, no. And you're gonna get a different look. We can change the gamma to, I don't know, maybe 5 or something. And we can take the displacement from 15 to 45, or maybe even 100. And you can see that you're getting these little, you know, buildings here. If I go to full scale, maybe we go double. You're getting these buildings popping up here. Just like that. And that's because it's more of a higher contrast. So the whites are popping off, you know, versus the other one, which was a bit more subdued. I think it was just basic. You can see how it's more subdued. So you're getting more buildings, more general buildings lifted off the ground. But here you're getting kind of some sparse buildings popping up. We can also take that one, take the texture emission and crank it to 400 too. That way we get, it's brighter in the bigger buildings. And we can take, perhaps we can take this down to like 6 and 4. So these buildings get a little bit brighter, which is a really cool look. And it's up to you, you know, if you want to keep that. But that's not bad. I like it. I think it's cool. It gives a really cool vibe. All right. So, you know, at this point, we have a pretty cool look. We got the silhouette. We got the city with the streets, different colors. I could probably tweak the colors in the city a little bit more. We got a big buildings, you know, a big city in the background, and it just gives you that feeling, you know, a really cool feeling. So I think maybe the next thing I want to do is see about adding a bit more foreground detail that kind of like goes off into the background, and perhaps maybe adding like a flag or something, or some pipes going off down into the city to draw the eye a bit more. We'll see. Yeah, let's see what we can do there. Because I think we've had, you guys get the point. You use displacement maps and you use different textures or noise to make the city lights pop off. So I think that's a really cool look. All right. So let me pull up my references. You know, there's this video here which has, you know, brighter strips, angled streets. There's the flag idea. And yes, I do read comments. Of course I read comments. And there's your silhouette. You know, there's a cool silhouette going. So it really is like trying to find an interesting silhouette for the foreground. That reads, and like, this is cool. It's a bunch of people. You're telling a story with the silhouette versus the generic silhouette that we have right now, which I don't like. You also see the sky too in the background, which is cool. And there's your, you know, there's your telephone pole situation. So maybe we can drop in a little sky element back there. and maybe we have some flags or something in the foreground. This is really when you just get the spice on it, which could take hours and hours. Who knows? Who knows? Also, here's another thing that you can do to mix up the scene. Go to your cloner, and let's go with a random effector, and you get a random look. Isn't that sweet? Let's turn off position. Let's go to rotation and just rotate these guys randomly. You can rotate them this way too. Like, that looks pretty crazy. That's pretty sweet, huh? That could be cool. You know, lots of different techniques you can do with this. Position. You can have city floating in the air. Let's turn these down. Like, that's pretty nuts. It's just a way to break it up. Yep, just a bunch of different ways you can do to break this up. It's fun. Very, very fun. Yeah, we just tweak and tweak and tweak until we get something we like. I'm wondering if we can get a sky back there. Let me try it. Let me just make an Octane sun and see what we can do. Let's rotate this around so the sun's pointing right at us. And then we'll drop it below the horizon. And I don't know if that gives us too much. Let me turn off the fog. I want that like blue. Let's see, in the reference. So in the reference here, you guys saw it was like the red, orange to blue kind of a look to black. So I want to try and get that. That's just orange right now. You can change the sky color. Let me see if I can't change the daylight model. Maybe a different daylight model will get us a different look here. Let me zero this stuff out just to be sure. Okay, cool. Whoa. Okay, so sky color and sun color. Maybe we can mix these. If sky color is like an intense blue, whoa, that turns green? What on earth? Sun color maybe. So it's like you're trying to go for a gradient. I'm gonna try something crazy. Let me hop out of here. I'm going to make a plane. And let's set it to 90 degrees. I'm holding shift to snap the angle there. Let's open this up, stand it up just tall enough. Yep, just tall enough there. Let's bring it just so the edges are right in our view there, so we can have full control over this. Boom. All right. So from here, I'm gonna try something crazy. Let's see if this works. I'll bring this in. And you can see it's already kind of working. It's being lit by our scene here. Scoot this over. and have it face our camera directly. Open it up just a little bit more. Okay, let's save a new iteration. And let's see if we can't get that gradient across this sky. We'll do a diffuse material. We'll drop it on the plane back there. We'll hop in. Let's go to node view because you want to see what you're doing. And the diffuse image no, not an image texture. We want a octane gradient. And we want to go from, let's see, what's the easiest way to see this? Let's turn on some lights. Let me just grab an HDRI. Cool, that's fine. I'll hop out of the camera. We can hide the cloner. And this plane here. And let's just see if we can't get these colors correct. All right. Mike, yo, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. He says, love the recent satisfying render. I'm very glad, and I hope you were satisfied. It was really satisfying to make. And you know, the other guys, Sam, Ren, and Peter put out some really solid stuff too. But man, thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out live. It's a good time. I hope you're learning a lot. And yo, if you guys aren't part of the Discord community, definitely join up because we do weekly challenges. And pretty soon here, I'm going to announce the 5 winners of last week's weekly challenge, which was Dream. And I'm going to announce the new weekly challenge for this week. Sometimes there's prizes. I think there might be a prize today. It might be my Surface Imperfection pack. There might be a prize next week too. I don't know. Sometimes. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. Let's wrap this up. Let's see if we can get the sky going. Maybe a little bit more foreground, and then we'll announce the winners of the live stream. Or no, the weekly challenge. You know, my brain starts to get lost here. After so much talking. But let's hop back in. Okay, Pella, I am glad that you think I'm really good at streaming because I don't think so, and I'm trying to get better. I've learned a lot over the last couple mornings, and I hope that, you know, some small subtle stuff like the scene switching is cool, and I got actually a really exciting art review scene for y'all when we get to that point. So let's keep moving. All right, let's get this let's get these colors in the sky here. We want these colors popping off. The orange, and it goes up to a light blue, into a dark blue, into a black. We want to get that look. Okay, so I'm wondering if we can actually reference this here. Let's find out. So let's bring up our node editor. We have a gradient, and we want to choose some colors along this gradient that's going to match our sky. Now it looks like the gradient is being applied from... I can't quite tell. Like if this goes from yellow to blue, it's like the middle note. How do I get it so that it's going from yellow to blue up top? Click linear, constant, cubic. Why does it not work? I want the whole thing. UVs, maybe? No, it should just work. Setting above. Radial linear. Whoa, what the heck happened? Ah, there we go. So you hit linear versus radial. Whoa, that's crazy. Thank you. Who said that? Miron. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Good times. All right, so maybe that's how we need to do the lights. Maybe. Okay. So let's see if we can't reference these colors in this video. Can we pick these colors? We can. Yes. Boom. And I'm just going to work my way up. Boom. All right. So that's kind of it. We need to flip it upside down. And that's kind of the vibe. Maybe we need to open up the brighter part a little bit. Like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I dig that. I think that works. It kind of gives us the look going here. Oh, snap. Yo. Kirilotron. Dude, heck yeah. Thanks for the super chat. That's awesome, dude. So you said about the color of the sky, I think you should try the last sky model as the most realistic and check the scale of the scene in 3ds Max, for example. This is usually the cause of many problems. All right, the last sky model. Let's give it a shot. Let's bring up that sky. So see, that's what. Yeah, those are the colors I want. The scale of the scene. So maybe sun size. Is that it? 0.2. That's certainly it. It's like scaled up over. Let's see. I think, yeah, we're on to something here. Maybe I just need to rotate this whole thing. That's not it. How do I rotate the horizon? Oh, I was too focused, y'all. Ian, thank you. You're enjoying the streams. Thanks for the super chat. You've been watching Corridor Crew for the last 3 years. Took up rendering, earned your first paycheck. Did it last month. Dude, congratulations. That is awesome. Keep up the good work, dude. Keep learning, keep growing your value. Hopefully the paychecks will get bigger. And just keep working on the stuff that you're passionate about. That's how you keep that spark going. So thank you guys for the support. Ion, it's a cool name. Appreciate you, man. All right. So I need to figure out how to rotate the horizon, it looks like. I mean, I could just tilt my camera up, I guess, and get the look, but I need it like in its most crunched form, you know? Maybe we bring the volume back in. And I don't want the sun. I don't want any sun power. I just want the sky. But the sun determines what the sky is. I don't know. Power. Bring the cloner back. Bring the ground back. And that looks pretty cool. I think the fog is a little thick. .025. 0.035. And how does that compare? Because we want it to be dark. So let's get rid of this octane sky. We just want to set it to black. And can we bring our sky in? Let's see. Sky color, sun color. Let's see. Mix the sky texture. No, it doesn't really work. We're just playing around here. Maybe we bring the plane back in that has our colors on it. And instead of just a diffuse, maybe it is an emissive texture as well. Because you can't see it, obviously. It needs to actually have some light pumping into it. So let's take the gradient that we have here and let's push it to the emissive black body texture. So that goes right into there. And then you get a little bit of it. Yeah, you certainly get a little bit of that. I think we need to adjust the gradient. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Now I'm wondering if you can blend. Does that do it a little bit better? And then maybe we brighten it up. Check the surface bar. Oh God. Set that to 10. Yo, son, set that to freaking 2. Not even, like 1. Okay, surface brightness, maybe a little too intense. Maybe we just do it the old normal way here. 150 is not bad. 100, I mean 100 is not bad either. You got the glow from the city popping off. The volume's doing a thing. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Sweet. Yeah, and the fog kind of brings it all together. So maybe just adjust some camera settings real quick and see what looks good. Way too intense, way too crunched. I mean, portrait, I always like going to the portrait look here. At 1.5, that looks cool. Neutral response, we'll check that because it gives you kind of a green tint. The neutral response button will take out the color from like the LUT, basically, that you've applied. But that's not bad, dude. That's not bad. Let's see if our volume is working. Maybe I'll make that a little deeper. And we'll get that to scale up. And maybe we'll add a little bit more fog. 0.065. 0.05, just so you see a little bit of that light. I wonder if you could just go to like 0.065 and then we take the sky back there and we push the light up, what that would look like. And it's trying to push through the fog. Maybe this is when we use the surface power, surface brightness. Yeah. Just want to keep it subtle. Just get like a little bit of that sky coming in. I think that's good. That's nice. Cool, and then let's try moving this cloner up. And making another plane that has more of a darker bit of, you know, of texture to it here. So I'll duplicate one of those guys. We'll drop it on here, one of these materials. And do we raise it up a little bit? Oh, no, that's not what we want. That's just pure black. We want one of these guys on our plane. Where are you? There you are. So what we're gonna get is kind of a like a gradual roll off to darkness versus that hard line. So you can take the power down to like 50. And we'll take the height to like 20. Then you bring it up just like that. Yeah, that's not bad. Also, another tip, you can go to options and uncheck the check camera option. And when you hop out of the camera, your live viewer will stay. And you can actually just, you know, keep adjusting and whatnot. And I'm angling this to get a bit more like detail here in these lower bits. And we can brighten it up just maybe a little more because it does go like to a pretty harsh kind of black there. So maybe we go like 75 on the emission. That's not bad. And I think the color should be more tungsten because these are homes. The lights are on. And we can create one more plane inside of the cloner. And make it, we'll duplicate it. And we'll set it to like a blue glow instead. Sweet. And I don't like how it's being randomly cloned here. So I'm going to adjust the seed. And maybe I'm going to go back on that blue. I don't think it's that great. So let me just undo it. Boom. All right, guys, that's pretty close. we're just about there. It's feeling pretty good to me. Now we could do some foreground stuff with some flags. I'm just wondering like how that would look and feel in our scene. What do you guys think? Is there anything quick that we can do in the foreground that you think would be awesome? I'm looking at y'all right now. What can we do in the foreground to spice this up that would be reasonably quick? Maybe something that would add some atmosphere. What do you guys think? So grass, I think grass would be not necessary just because it's just like adding noise on noise, especially since it's going to be such like thin little silhouettes. It might help break up that line at the bottom there, but I'm wondering if we can do it in different ways. A street light. A street light could be interesting, maybe. Gargoyles are cool. A bench she's sitting on, maybe. Yeah, certainly. A fence, maybe. A fence could be interesting. It just might not be like... It's got a lot of holes in it. So I don't know if that would read immediately. Oh, wind turbine. That's kind of cool. That's pretty sweet. An antenna, a railing. Maybe we go for like a electrical wire kind of situation. Let me see what we can do with that. I actually have some stuff, some assets, VFX materials, 3D models, CG Trader. We got antennas. Part 1 and part 2, like this one, something like this, maybe. Something like this, maybe. We need like wires. Cranes, electric towers. This is it right here. Electric towers. Yeah. Maybe we can get like some of this or something going in the scene. Down into the city? I don't know. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. All right, so I'm gonna check the camera here, make sure it's unchecked. Yep, so when I hop out, I'll need to scale this down a lot. And we'll rotate it to face us. And we need to get it to the point where like you can see it. Like it's certainly right there, right in the foreground, which is kind of cool. Like that's actually pretty sweet. And it's getting like a nice underglow from the city below. Kind of cool. Maybe we scale it down a little bit more, bring it closer. Yeah, wires between two of them I think is a given, you know, like if it'd be kind of lame if we didn't do that, you know. Maybe scale this down just a little bit. control drag and get a little symmetry going here. And we just kind of have them going off into the night. And it just kind of ends out in the distance. And then we'd have one of them up here, maybe behind. And it's very subtle, but I think once it like clears up, once the render clears up, you'll be able to see it a little bit more. And let's see if we can't get some wires going between these guys. The best way to do that would probably be with topo wire, would probably be the quickest way to do this, I think. Let me clean up my viewport so it's easier to see. You can hit NQ to get rid of textures, and NA to get rid of any lines. I also like to hide my camera. Just in this case, it's not really that in the way. Let's see what we can do here. So topo wire, really cool plugin. And does it work with nulls? Like, can I, let me save this. Let me make a new scene just to clean things up. Topo wire, and I'll make a null and another null, and I'll move one over here. And so you can see them, I will make it a freaking star. Why not? So we got two of them, and then I'll drop both of them into topo wire. And I guess not. With cubes, it should work. We have one cube and two cubes, and then we adjust the topo wire. So distance limit, maybe, no. Type. Curvature, we want, why does it do that? I wonder why it's disappearing. Does anyone have an idea why it's disappearing? And then you want to give them thickness, obviously, too. Distribution, vertex. Yeah, the curvature is really what we need to make this work. Yeah, this is topo wire. I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing to freaking get some droopiness to it. Is it the distance limit? The maximum, let's just set that to 999. So it's maxed out. Yeah, weird, the curvature's not working. I think it's actually broken in R23 last I heard. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe we don't use topo wire and we do it the other way. So maybe we take a spline and we go from one point to another, and we select both of those points and we subdivide. I think it's U and P. Oh no, that's split. We want to subdivide it. What's the hotkey for subdivide? I knew it. What is it? US. US. So I'm gonna just hit this a bunch. So we got this thing subdivided, and we'll give it a where is it? Simulation tag. Should be spline dynamics or cloth. I swear there's like a spline dynamics or something. Spline wrap, edge to spline, spline dynamics. There it is. It's in a hair tag. Okay. So we go hair tags, spline dynamics. Great. So now you go to, it's been a minute since I've done this. So you select the endpoints, get some of those, and you should be able to set them, hit play, and it doesn't work. Set is the other set button. All right, there you go, okay. That's how you do it. So you set it, and then you droop it, and it's a good time. And you just got to mess with the stiffness. Maybe it's 100%, 0% rubber, so it falls and it holds its weight just a little bit more. And then finally, you can hit it with a circle spline, close that down, and we'll go to frame 1. Select both of them, hold Control and Alt. That way, they will both become children of the sweep. And you know, make it a little smaller, and boom, there you go. It's doing some weird stepping that I don't like. So maybe that could be fixed with the spline by setting it to uniform, natural, adaptive, Bezier, linear. I'm trying to change the spline type to fix that stepping. But maybe it's in the sweep options, or possibly it could be in a lot of different options here. You probably won't see it though in our instance. Wow, that's like a really dense mesh there. Oh snap, we getting subscribers right now? Shoot, son. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you. I have to figure out, is that too loud? The subscriber thing. I'm figuring that one out. Maybe I should just turn down the volume on it. Kinda, yeah. Turn it down a little bit. Tiny bit loud. Cool. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Sweet. Heck yeah. All right. So it looks like intestines, but I don't know why. I do not know why. Dang, the subscription's coming in. That's what's up. All right, so let's see here what to do. Is it my freaking spline, dude? Why is it all zigzaggy? Maybe it's just the fact that, like, Surrender. It's your dad's birthday, and you left the chat. That's not chill, dude. That's not chill. I'm just kidding, of course. Dude, your dad's awesome. Your dad is literally the adult version of you, which is freaking awesome. He rides a one wheel. How cool is that? How freaking cool is that? All right, let's get some splines going in our scene. We want to get these electric towers roped up. Okay. So we'll do spline pen tool. We'll get let's see if we can do this quickly and easily we'll go 1, 2, 3, and this is just where they stop, you know, this is where the power ends. Perfect. All right, let's go to top view and make sure it lines up. Get rid of topo wire. No, that's actually perfect. Let's take that. We'll control A to grab all those points, and we're gonna subdivide. So US a whole bunch. Oh, that's why. Look, it's got the Bezier handles. That's why. I think you need to set it to linear. Type linear. I think that's it. I think that's our answer. We'll see though. Let's keep going. US to subdivide. We'll give that a shot. Maybe we'll subdivide it one more time, but we'll see. Let's lock it up. All right, so right click and we'll go to hair tags, spline dynamics. Let's select the points. The heck? What? Why'd I go down there? Give it a spline dynamics tag and it goes all crazy. Oh, because we need to be on frame 1 probably. Hair tags, spline dynamics. Yeah, stayed put. All right, we'll go to point mode. Let's just select these points on these anchor points here, and we'll see what happens. Zoom. Holding shift to select multiple points. Awesome. We'll select the spline dynamics tag. We'll set it, and moment of truth. Boom, we got some freaking splines. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let's see if the stepping thing works. Let's go back to frame 1. Frame 0 rather. We'll make that circle spline. We'll scale it down. We'll select both the spline and the circle spline. Hold Control and Alt. And drop it into a sweep. Scale down that circle. And hit play. And look at that, the linear, like the linear, what would you call it? Interpolation fixed our problem. It's not doing a weird stepping thing because it doesn't have Bezier handles doing a bunch of craziness. But those, let's just see what that looks like, and let's see. Well, actually, it is doing something. You do see those wires. That's cool. Maybe we need to bring them more towards the center. Would be the best way of doing this. I think we can actually pull this point while it's live. Yeah, that's freaking cool. You pull that point while it's live, and it'll actually make some cool adjustments. But we got this weird glitch here. We kind of want to just bring it more towards the center behind our character. Let's move it. Let's set our frame length or our scene length to like 1,000 so we can have room to play with this. And let's just move it so it's like right behind our character. And we'll see what that looks like in our scene. Shoot. Samu. Mr. Samu. Samu Gindert. Thank you for the very generous super chat. That is awesome. Very, very kind of you. So, pronounced Shamu. Pronounced like Shamu the killer whale. Awesome. You just found out about my channel yesterday after watching Quarter Crew for a few years. I gotta go now. Thanks for awesome information and content. Say hi to Ren for me. Dude, you rock, Shamu. Thank you so much for the support. It means a lot. You are awesome. Have a good day. I hope you learned a lot. And yeah, I think if Ren's still not here, or if he's still hanging around, I'll make sure you said hey. But thank you so much. Have a good one. Come back next week. We do it every single week. All right. So that kind of works. I feel like we can still move it a little closer. Because we want to get, you know, this also, we should probably do all of our points here, because let's just take this circle, this sweep, we'll duplicate it, Control C, Control V, and we'll move it over, because we want a bunch of different wires here. We'll do it again. We'll grab that sweep, hold Control, move it over. Oh, okay, so not letting us. I think it's because we need to like reset. We need to reset the dynamics or something. So maybe we have to clear it, then we can move it. And then we grab those points again on the spline. And we set them again. I'm going to just give it a shot here. Go ahead and set it. And whoa! We got some crazy wires. Heck yeah. No, that's cool. I'm digging that. We can give them a like a black texture, and also scale down the thickness of these guys. They're a little intense. And we'll give them a black texture. Sir Pug, what's good? Thanks for joining. Do I ever use Blender? You know, I watch some tutorials from time to time. Yeah. I think it's good to know how to use it so I can tell you guys, you know, what I would do if I was in Blender. But yeah, I think it'd be helpful. All right, so raw red. What are you saying? No, wires on these things are super thick. Started watching. Okay, I got you. You're saying that the wires on these guys are thick. I just think for the image itself, it feels like a bit too much. So I probably want to duplicate these a number of times. So let me go back here. Let me delete this. Let me take off the spline dynamics. We'll do this in a second. And I want to grab all the points that are going to be fixed. Let's see. With the spline selected, we'll come in here, grab these bits, and I like how it's already hanging. All right, so now we got those points selected. If I go to the model mode, I should be able to duplicate the sweep, control drag over, and I'll get it over on the other side too. And actually it looks like there's 3 rows of this stuff. I'll get it over in the middle. And there might even be like a lower section too. It looks like there is, but I don't think we really need to worry about that right now. Let's go ahead and we need to lock these guys up. So I'm gonna go hair tags, spline dynamics, and just start locking these guys up. Should be able to hit set on this and just have it work because we pre-selected those points in point mode before we duplicated it. So I'm just making this as quick as I can. Hair tags, spline dynamics, set. And we just got 3 more, it looks like 2, 3 more. Set, and last one, pair, spline, and set. And if I go back to frame 1, let's see what happens. Whoa! What's going on? You know, I just realized I don't even need dynamics anymore because we kind of, it's already in the shape we want, isn't it? So why add dynamics if we don't need to? I'm gonna close the circles up a little bit more to keep it thin. I don't want to draw too much attention to these wires. It's definitely a small detail. That's pretty sweet. Like, I'm digging that. I'm digging that a lot. So you're saying you can't see the transmission tower in the render. That's because it just needs to render, for one, because it's very pixelated. When we're just looking at like fog, it really needs to like take its time to get up to speed here sample wise. So I'm gonna just set this to render 2000 frame or 2000 samples. Let's put it somewhere 600 by 900 is fine for now. Let's maybe let's double that. 1200 by 1800. Current frame is fine. We will save, and let's do, where do we want to put this? An EXR. Boom. All right. So I'm going to set this to render. And hopefully it'll clear everything up. The fog will be nice and crispy. It'll look really good. And then we'll add some post effects in Photoshop. But while it renders, I think it's time to do the weekly challenge. We're going to announce the 5 winners. Let me set this up real quick. And I will be back in 2 minutes. This is just so I can use my BRB screen. Let me know if it's too loud, if its volume's mixed too high, and I'll fix it immediately. All right, y'all. I'll see you in 2 seconds. I'm just going to get this render set up, get a drink of water, and we're going to announce the winners of the weekly challenge. All right? I'll see y'all in like 2 minutes. Don't move, all right? Don't move your butts. All right, y'all. It's time. It's time to review the 5 winners and announce the winners of the weekly challenge. The challenge was what was it? It was Dream. All right, it was Dream. All right, so I got this whole new thing for the art review stuff. Let's give it a shot. Let me turn down my freaking ISO, and we'll give it a go. All right, let's see if this works. I hope to God. Let me actually go to studio mode just in case. And if this doesn't work, it works. Okay. All right, we can transition to this. Get off of studio mode because we're doing it. Because look at this, guys. We got a blank slate, and this is this very complicated set of stuff here. But hopefully this works. All right, hopefully this works. I'm very excited about this. So obviously, as you can see, the challenge winners, they get a little CG trophy up here. You also get the challenge winner role in the Discord server, so you guys can rep that. All of the challenge winners will be like put up towards the top in the Discord server, so everyone's gonna know who won. There's 5 winners, all right? And because I know you guys want me to do and review all the submissions, I just don't have time. I just do not have time. But what I'm doing right now, I'm going to announce the 5 winners, okay? And then I'm going to go in and give out some honorable mentions and tell you guys why I thought that these renders were awesome. It's not going to be every single one, but it'll be more than just the 5. I think I got an extra 10 for y'all, all right? Okay. So, Tidham's like, oh snap, a CG trophy. I gotta step up my game now. Can't tell if you're being sarcastic. But you know, you're freaking great, dude. You got some solid renders. I'm sure it's all good. I'll send you a freaking CG trophy on Discord. I don't know how it's gonna work. Well, I don't know. I also think too. Let me double confirm this. Boop. Let me double confirm this. That there is a prize this week. Weekly challenge for Dream. Yep. Okay, yeah, so the prize this week is my Surface Imperfection pack. If you guys don't know what that is, we used some of the Surface Imperfections to light our city and to get our, our city look that you can see here. We're rendering away. It's going to be awesome. You know what? Since this is going to take a little bit longer, I might just render a bigger image, but I don't know. I'll just do that later. Okay. So you guys are going to win the Surface Imperfection pack. It's going to be a good time. Let's just get right to it. So the first winner of the weekly challenge, the Dream prompt, is, I believe, One Dead Duck. This is awesome. This is absolutely sick. Like, I love your lighting quality. Geez, it looks like a Renaissance painting, the way this thing is lit. It's so good. I love the texture on your ghosts. And while going through these submissions, I really tried to pick the winners that their renders read as Dream. I look at it and I see, oh, this has a Dream theme involved. That was the first thing. Does it read as like a Dream, right? The second obviously is well, not obviously. The second option I'm going for, the second thing I'm looking for is originality. Is this something that came from your head that I can't really tell where it came from? Maybe I know a lot of you guys do stuff based off of movies and stuff, but this feels original to me. Like, this is awesome. This is very, very cool. And third is like the quality of your render. Does it look awesome? And boy, this looks awesome. Freaking awesome. Okay, so that's the first one. That's our first winner, Mr. One Dead Duck. You are going to be getting my Surface Imperfection pack. Use it wisely. Now, next we have a render by, I think this person's name is Industry. This is awesome. I love this so much. The colors are incredible. Composition is incredible. I'm such a fan of this render. And it feels very, very dreamy to me. And the reason this speaks to me as very dreamy is not just because it looks dreamy and it feels surreal. I actually get this weird feeling when I close my eyes sometimes as I'm drifting off to bed, where I feel tiny in a huge room, and then it'll switch to like I feel huge in a tiny room. Do you guys ever get that? Do you guys ever feel that? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me. And it's not all the time, it's just sometimes. But I get that with this right here. Like, this is super cool. I'm a fan. So Industry, congrats. You have won the challenge winner role, as well as the surface imperfection pack. So you can do some really cool stuff with that. I'm excited to see what you do. I know, right? The color, it's so good. Okay, next up. Who do we have? It is Tapi Kisodoku with this render right here. So at first I was like, I don't know, because the render quality wasn't quite up to par. At least what I like, like compared to some of the others. It's good, don't get me wrong. It's a winner. It just won. But like the skin shader, the hair shader, you can see the kind of like the polygons and the bed, or the shirt. But this wins because it reads as a dream so well. It might be the best one, honestly, that reads as this is a dream. A very cool take on a dream kind of state. And it shows what the dream is. It's super cool. It's like in the physical world. The lighting, the render quality is not bad. It's not bad. I think it just could be better. Like skin shader, the hair, the blanket, all that kind of stuff. But it's original. I love it. I think it's so good. It's so good. So congratulations to Tapi Kisodoku. You're going to get the challenge winner role this week, and you're also going to get the Surface Imperfection pack. All right, we're on number 3 here. We're going on to number 4. So the fourth winner is Blaster Jax with this awesome render. This feels like so fantastical to me. Like, I just love the look of it. I love the lighting. I love how lush it is. I love this landscape. You have this character who just stepped out and into this awesome dream world. It feels like a dream world to me. Feels like that. The render quality is fantastic. The lighting is fantastic. I dig it. I really dig it. I feel like the only thing it's missing is just a more emphasis light-wise on the character. That's it. Otherwise, it's incredible. So congratulations, Blaster Jax. You're going to be getting that Surface Imperfection pack, as well as the challenge winner role this week. Moin Khan. Dude, thank you for the super chat. You're still waiting on an airplane cockpit render. You mean for the weekly challenge? An airplane cockpit weekly challenge? Kind of specific. We'll see. Well, I'm going to ask you guys what y'all want to do here. We'll take a vote. But let's get to the fifth one. The fifth and final winner of this week's weekly challenge is Tristan with this video right here. And again, this was another one that I was like on the fence about because it's very quick. It would have been cool if it looped. Like the character started falling in bed and then it went into the universe. Like that actually would have been sweet. I think slow-mo could have been a bit more surreal. This is definitely going for the scary angle. I get that. But after watching it over and over and over, it'd be nice to actually slow it down a little bit and take a closer look at it. But I think it's cool. The reason it's a winner is because it's an original concept. It reads as a dream very clearly. And your render quality is pretty nice. So congratulations, Tristan, and to all 5 of y'all for winning this week's weekly challenge. You guys are going to get the Surface Imperfection pack. Hit me up on Discord, or I'll hit you up on Discord, one of the two, and we'll get you those packs, and we'll get you making your renders all dirty soon enough. And if you guys want to take a look at that pack, there's a link in the description below. It's on Gumroad. It's a good time. I'm very proud of it. I think it turned out really well. So, congrats to all 5 winners of the weekly challenge, guys. Let's talk about a couple runner-ups that I thought were really, really cool. So let me switch over. Let's do it. All right. So first thing, let's see. Let's hide this and let's start bringing some up. Moin Khan, you want me to make a render of an A320 cockpit? So it's pretty advanced. It's pretty advanced. But I will take note. I will take note right now. We'll see what we can do. All right, so runner-ups, guys. Copperbot with this guy here. This is super cool. I like the diner feel. The water inside is awesome. It actually came with a video. I just didn't have time to prep it up in this new format. So, you guys can see it. Just go to the submissions tab in the Discord and watch Copperbot's video. It's super cool. I dig it. Next time, if I have more time, I'll try and get the videos uploaded here onto this new format, which should be possible. It just took a bit to set it up for the first time. But yeah, very Inception. I dig this one a lot. Next, we have Neo Knife. New Knife's render. I really like this. The color in this is super cool. I dig it so much. The blue and the red with like, I don't know, you have some sort of filter on top of this. It looks really cool. I dig it. It's super sick. Matrix vibes for sure. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a shout out there. Visual with this render here, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I actually had a dream once where like plants started growing up through my feet and like out of my body at the same time. It was so gross. It was so gross. And this gives me that feeling. But she kind of looks like the character from Leon the Professional. Natalie Portman, right? Yeah, super sick. Visual, your renders are always incredible. Vehicle. This is just a nice photo. Like, super nice. Very well rendered. The black and white makes you really choose what you're seeing. Can you read the shapes? And I can read the shapes, and it looks sick. Like, your composition and your lighting, freaking awesome. Tinum. Your render quality is ridiculous, dude. And this is another one with a video. So you can check the video out in the submissions in the Discord server. I mean, it's a flawless render, dude. I don't have anything else to say about it. It's absolutely incredible. Soulmate. Yeah. Okay, a little loud. Apologies. But yeah, this is a freaking super solid render here. I like this. It's like the feeling of like, looping, kind of like that looping slow run. I dig that a lot. Ronin. I really like this cartoon look you have, this cell shading. It feels very whimsical, very inspiring. It reminds me of like Ghibli stuff. I dig it a lot. It feels very, very fun. Pillow Fort with this, I dig this a whole lot. This is a really cool concept. Walking down the stairs to the end of the dragon, upside down. It would have been cool to have like space maybe in here, some stars. I think could like maybe round it out a little bit. But I dig that one a lot. Coltrane. This is sick, man. What an awesome render. What a sweet image. Your colors are awesome. The render quality is awesome. And you have some really, really cool textures going on here. Congrats on that, man. Shout outs for sure. Astrofunk, I really like your colors here. And I like this universe above the bed. I think it's really, really cool. I like it a lot. And finally, Fruit Juice. Mr. Fruit Juice. This is great. I really dig it. It matches your profile picture too. It's really cool, dude. I love your colors. I love the softness to it. It feels very nice. Like, yeah, your colors are sick, man. Good stuff. Very, very, very good stuff. So, congrats to all the winners and everyone who came as an honorable mention. I thought it would be cool to just, shout you guys out after all the hard work that you put in. So, yeah. Let's figure out what's the next weekly challenge going to be right now. Start dropping ideas here in the chat. I'm looking at you. And then we're going to come back here. We're going to bring this image into Photoshop and wrap it out. So, what do y'all think? What do you guys think about the weekly challenge this week? What do you guys want to work on? What do you guys want to get better at? Okay, landscape, robots. So a lot of these we actually did last year. Not to say we can't do them again. Cyberpunk could be sweet. Cyberpunk is a good one. Colors. Ooh, colors. I like that. Wow, lots of ideas. Dang, this is great. Black and white isn't bad either. All right, so right now I'm digging. Oh, pipes is cool. Okay, pipes, black and white, colors, and there was one other that I liked. Cyberpunk. So I'm digging these ones right now. What do you guys think? Cyberpipe. People are down for Cyberpunk. Black and white, I'm seeing. Man, this is tough. This is a tough one. Color and pipes and Wow, yeah, this is a hard one. Okay, so between black and white and color, what do you guys think? Between those two. All right, I see a lot of color. I think color it is. All right, y'all. Okay, so everyone's saying, giving their opinion right now. I better see y'all make some renders. I want to see some freaking renders from you guys. Let's do it. Color is the prompt, okay? I want you to really pay attention to the color on this render, okay? The challenge is to render something with some freaking awesome colors. I want you to look into complementary colors, tertiary colors, color opposites. You guys, I want you to dig in and look for some coolness. Now, I actually just found out of a really cool resource for color, okay? Let me show you what it is. It is a website called Coolers. Coolers. Or is it Coolers.io. Oh my god, what am I doing? Google. How about we just go to frickin' Google and we type in colors. I think it's colors.co. Yeah, here we go. Start the generator. Thanks for the sub if everyone's subbing right now. That's awesome. If you guys enjoy this, consider subscribing, so you guys will be alerted of the next ones. So I'm hitting spacebar and it's just generating different colors. And these are really pleasing. You can lock certain ones. If you like this one and you like that one, you can lock them until you find something like this. Yellow's cool. And you get a nice mix of colors that you like. I like that blue. And maybe we get like a black or a white or something, which you can just select down here. And how do we do this? Get something, yeah, like that or something. Yeah, those are your colors that you're going to work with. So you can go on this website, coolers.co, and come up with some cool colors. You can cancel some of these out and just come up with like 3 and find a nice combination that you like. But really pay attention to the colors on this one. Have a good time. Challenge yourself to do that. The prompt will be in the Discord server soon once I'm done with the stream here. But let's lastly hop into Photoshop to wrap out our image. All right. So let's open it on up. So if you guys have never done a challenge before, it's all prompted from the Discord server. Okay. The link's in the description. You have 1 week to do it. You have to submit by not tomorrow. You have to submit by next week, next Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I can actually go through and like judge them and load them into this the new art review source and everything, or scene. Obviously no cheating, no plagiarism. Don't follow a tutorial and post it as a result. That stuff is not going to go over well, all right? And this one's a little bit harder to do that on anyway because it's colors, right? So let's do it. Let's get Photoshop going here and let's open up our image that we just made. Let's see. Oh man, after this I have to render the horizontal view for the thumbnail. Okay. Night City render. Boom. Here we go. Cool. So we actually get like a nice view of it. You can actually see the transformers here once it's rendered properly. So that's awesome. Let's go ahead and open up an image that I always use. It's actually these like film overlays, which you can get on Google. Just type in like film green texture, and it's pretty large. And these I set to overlay, which I can't right now because I'm at a 32-bit image. Let's go to 8-bit and we'll merge it and we'll set this to exposure and gamma. Maybe we'll up the exposure. Whoa. Up the exposure just a little bit. Cool. Then we drop in the film grain. And we'll flip it upside down because it's a little brighter on the top. You know what? No. Let's keep it on the bottom. And I'm going to set that to overlay. And that gets you a really nice kind of film grain look here. If I turn this on and off, that's very subtle. Because our image is kind of already grainy. But it's definitely something that I don't miss out on. It helps out a lot. Get out of here. I also probably want to lift the blacks a little bit, so I'm going to grab a little levels adjustment here, and we'll drop it down so it's just above our image. And let's just maybe lift Maybe lift the black value just a little bit. Just so it's not completely dark. And why is it not getting... Oh, that's because the film green, boom, needs to be down there. Okay. So other than that, like, this is pretty sweet already, you know? I don't know if we need to do too much more to this image. Like, maybe, you know, this is 100%. Maybe we just blur it just a little bit, like, especially this woman here. You could go filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and give it just like a blur of like 0.2, something very small. Because there's no such thing as a perfect crisp photo. Maybe there is. I'm sure there is. But, you know, it just helps a little bit. It helps to take out the CG look of it. And I agree. I think the power lines are a little large. And I think they could be moved over to the right just a bit. So I'd have to go back in and, you know, work on my render a little bit more. But I'm happy with this. I think you guys get the idea with this. Have fun with this effect, and, you know, join the Discord server. Post it in there. Show me what you guys are up to. Let's keep learning. Let's keep growing. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. I think we've done it. I hope to see you guys next week, because these are just going to keep getting better throughout the year, all right? Let me see you next week. It's going to be a good time. Let me see you the week after that. So I'm going to chill for another, like, you know, 3 to 5 minutes. Hang out with you guys. If you have any questions, I'll answer them right here. And then, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon. Peace, guys. I need to get some, like, stream-friendly music here for, like, these little intro outro bits. What's my favorite tea? Kyle. Okay, so my friend Adam, he just gave me a yuzu matcha tea that's freaking ridiculous. Blows my mind. So that's probably my favorite. Matcha on its own is great too, but yuzu, dude, so good. Fruit juice, what you got? What question you got? I want to remake a photo you posted in your website, but can't download or view them in high res. Is there a reason? So I want to use it for reference. Yeah, you know, I just don't want people to rip my photos and make prints on their own. But if you just shoot me a message on Discord, and I'll get you what you need, man. No worries. How often do I stream? I stream every Saturday, 10:45 Pacific Standard Time, a.m., 10:45 in the morning. What else we got? How much do I recommend a graphic tablet instead of a mouse? Dude, graphic tablet all day. It's the best, man. Like, it saves my hand from getting that carpal tunnel. I'm able to just be smoother and faster. It feels more natural. The reason I got it is because I know that I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. So I want to promote as much longevity as possible in my health. So that's why I got this thing. It's like $400. It's a Wacom Intuos Pro 4 tablet, the medium-sized one. It's freaking great. Moin Khan, thanks for the super chat. Got you with that knowledge, man. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah. What else? When was the last time I had kimchi? Like 2 weeks ago. I got some in the fridge, though. I got to make some kimchi fried rice. Can you follow a reference image for the contest? CGM Studios. Yeah, you can follow a reference image for the contest. Definitely, man. That's totally fine. I'm using reference all the time. Devin, I'm glad you enjoy watching these, man. That's super cool. Thanks for coming by. DJA, you want a black hole in C4D. Interesting. I think there's already a black hole octane tutorial out there. I don't know if I can do much better than that. That was a good one. Do I use a 4K monitor? I do not. Maybe one day. Am I in Japan by chance? I wish. Good God, I wish. No, I'm in Los Angeles. The house we're in was created by some Japanese architects. So they put in some stuff like this, which is super cool. I dig this a whole bunch. What else we got? Do I know what brand the yuzu matcha is? Yeah, it's Den's tea, D-E-N, Den's tea, I think. It's incredible. Tinham, how's my film going? When do you start? Or did you start already? I did not start already, but I will do a feature film. I know that. I just need to find the project, the idea, the writer, the team, and it'll happen. That's the goal, man. That's the big goal. That's the whole reason I'm doing all this. The whole reason I'm getting good at 3D is so I can direct a feature film and pop off 3D shots that look real if I need to. That's the whole reason. It all comes back to the feature film that I want to do so badly. New fix. I'm glad you found my channel too. That's awesome. You found out about it on the Stuntman Reacts. Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. I want a drawing glove. Any recommendations? This is just a $10 glove on Amazon. That's it. There's not even a brand on it. I think I've used it so much I got wiped off. It's whatever, man. It's like $10. Super cheap. Ooh, architecture theme for next week. That could be cool. But maybe next week. We already chose one. We chose colors this time. All right. Ooh, nice. Tinham, you're currently working on your Pixar-inspired short? That's awesome, dude. I want to do a an animated short, maybe something this year. I think that could be sweet. Y'all are the best. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, if you guys aren't part of the Discord community, hop on there. It's an awesome time. Lots of helpful people. You guys are super cool. I'm very, very blessed to have such awesome fans and have built a community of really like chill people. So that's cool. You guys are awesome. Keep it up. Keep learning. Keep growing. And we're just going to get better. We're going to keep getting better. So I'm going to bounce out of here. I'm going to get some lunch. I got some oyakodon in the fridge. It's going to be good. But until next week, I'll see you guys in the Discord server, all right? Good luck on the challenge. Join it. It's fun, all right? Maybe there'll be a prize. Check the post in the next 20 minutes or so. But I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one. And yeah, have a good day. All right, guys. Peace out.